In today's episode, we're going to be reacting to some of the craziest TikTok videos that I could find. Let's get into it.
South Korea's iconic temple, which is over 1,000 years old, has just been destroyed by one of the worst wildfires the region has seen in years. For perspective, that temple is more than 4 times the age of America. The country. South Korea declared a state of emergency after the wildfires have already burnt an area equivalent to 4,600 football fields. And 16 new wildfires broke out nationwide on Friday alone. 100 helicopters and 9,000 personnel have been deployed to battle the flames, while thousands have been evacuated and 4 have lost their lives. But of course, as the situation develops, I'll keep you guys updated.
That is truly a shame. I'm so sorry for anyone out there that has to go through this, and to lose such a massive part of history is really sad. Thoughts and prayers go out to anyone out there that's suffering. It seems like this year is the year of the wildfire.
AI from this video game just solved the housing crisis in America, but not everyone's gonna like this answer. In the new video game City Skylines 2, they implemented a bunch of new features to make it as realistic as possible to an actual economy, the changes in the economy, and everything that happens when you're building a city and a society. Again, they were trying to make it as realistic as possible. And what they found is, just like today, as people were building and selling homes, it became so expensive in the market that nobody in the population that they had created in this game was able to afford a home. It turned into a major housing crisis. And what did the AI do to solve the problem? Get rid of all the landlords. Make it impossible to become one. The game made it so you were only able to purchase a home. You could never rent anything. And what do you know? Sure enough, give it a little bit of time and housing prices dropped way, way low. People could afford homes again. And it totally fixed the economy in this simulation. They just made landlording not a thing anymore. They just got rid of it. And I don't want to pretend like this is an absolutely perfect simulation, but I'm just saying it makes sense.
So getting rid of greed was the answer. Who would have thought? And it's not necessarily greed. There is people that have to provide for their families, and if they have a home, renting is an option to make that passive income. And of course, they have to be able to handle maintenance expense and yearly taxes, insurance, and things like that. But I've seen some houses that people were really over asking for what they wanted in rent for what it was worth. And I see that way more than not.
The Baghdad battery, it's a 2,000-year-old artifact. They found it in 1936. It's a clay pot, and it has an iron rod wrapped in copper, and if you pour an acid in there, it actually generates electricity. These people had batteries over 2,000 years ago. There's this thing called the Dendera lights. It's a carving in Egypt. The thinking is, where if Giza was this actual power station and they had the ability to draw electricity from the air, that would be a battery, and that would be used to like basically illuminate your city, your house. Like they could have probably created a light bulb.
I added this video in because of the new discovery, if you will, of what they've supposedly found under the pyramids. Plenty of videos have talked about it online, so I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If not, here's an image to jog your memory. I'm sure you've seen that plenty on the internet within the past week. But like I was saying, I brought this video up because of this Baghdad battery. And it makes me think, if this discovery that they found under the pyramids to be true, what if that was just the start of batteries? Their minds blown that these batteries were possibly created about 2,000 years ago, but the pyramids of Giza are way older than that. So that makes me kind of think that, okay, maybe they were used as massive batteries or power plants. Interesting theory. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hey, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying the show, give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. For everyone that's currently watching and or subscribed, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel.
Are they making copies of you right now behind your back? I think I got half the reason that the genetic NPCs exist. I said genetic because there is a whole bunch of biology and other things considered when it comes to the normal NPCs. So popular DNA company 23andMe files for bankruptcy, and then they're going to end up going to bid, and the highest bidder will get the company in all of the DNA. Remember, the same 23andMe that's been hacked multiple times for people's DNA. I was shocked when I started seeing people use 23andMe because it goes without saying what the end result would be. Read this behind me because I can't say it out loud. I remember when this happened and when this was officially done. The name Eve synonymous with the fruit from Genesis. And then we had other pop-up companies claiming to do the same thing, and anti-legislation that Mr. Bill signed into law saying that the federal government cannot be paying for no federal funds to create. Have you or someone you know used one of these companies to find out your lineage? Now in California they're saying that you can request your data to be deleted, but remember, there's many copies of this and many hacks have already happened. So I guess the question you need to ask yourself, are there copies of you miles underneath our feet? And could this partially be the explanation for the increase of NPCs that have no internal monologue? We can't talk about the other kind of NPCs here, but there's a molecular DNA battle going on. Y'all better get your data deleted before it goes into the wrong hands again. Just for entertainment, besides the headlines.
Turns out not having many friends is extremely bad for you. People are freaking out about this research that came out. Of course, it's no surprise that being lonely and not having a large group of friends is not going to be healthy for a person's sanity. Lead you down a bad path, obviously lead to many things such as depression and anxiety, but it turns out it can be a lot worse than that. So loneliness is actually a large biopsychosocial stressor. It can actually have a lot of bad impacts on your body when you're not socializing or have that social connection with people. Research actually shows that lacking a social connection and having a lot of loneliness is actually nearly as dangerous as 15 cigarettes a day. And you can see some of these other things right here, and it's actually crazy when you compare it. This scale of loneliness actually attacks the same blood clotting protein that smoking does, hence the research. Say that if you don't have a massive group of friends you're going to get a blood clot or get ill. That's not the case at all. You think of old people who are living on their own, they have no family, no friends, they are just alone 24 hours a day with no one. These people are severely impacted far more than we could ever know. As the research shows, it can be extremely dangerous.
I personally have friends that love being alone. They've been alone most of their life and they just completely enjoy being alone. In fact, being around people overwhelms them and or upsets them greatly. And they get their means of social interactions through other ways, not just through actual physical interaction. They play games online, they talk to other people online, and that seems to work for them.
The ship?
Yes, with the laser.
Yeah. This is actually a thing now. They released a clip of the ship firing the Helios laser weapon, and apparently it's able to disarm, and one is like completely annihilate. It's literally a laser off the front of the ship. The lower mode just like will short circuit like electronic, which they've had that tech for a long time. They've talked about being able to disarm bombs from satellites and stuff like that, or whatever stuff from above. But what's crazy is that was just like a kind of like not seen little like this thing is a full-blown Death Star looking thing,
Like the DEWs we've been talking about.
So it could
Yeah.
blow
Conspiracy.
something up if it got like overheated.
Oh
like
yeah.
and it's high enough to where I don't think you're like overheating it. I think you're just going boom, like
Just obliterating it.
Does that not look a little fake though?
If there's a missile coming, it could shoot the missile and it like disarms it electronically and it just like falls out of the sky.
I mean, doesn't everything now?
Because you
sonar?
can't just see the laser with your naked eye.
Oh,
My eyes are never naked.
Project Bluebeam claims NASA and the UN plan to fake an alien invasion using mind control and holograms to create a new god, then scare people into accepting a one-world government. Great story. But is it true? Well, I can't debunk a secret government program because it's secret, but we can break down Project Bluebeam to see if it's even possible. Step 1 is earthquakes. Do we have the technology to create them on demand? We do. We do this all the time by fracking for oil. The number of earthquakes of a 3.0 magnitude or higher in Oklahoma went from an average of 2 per year in the 2000s to over 800 in 2015, induced by fracking. So the technology is here. The problem is it can't be done in secret. You need huge crews of people and loud, heavy machinery. They couldn't hide it. Step 2, global holograms of gods and UFOs. This tech doesn't exist. Nothing even close to it does.
Yeah, but the military is always 20 years ahead.
Maybe, but it would use so much power, you'd have to dedicate the entire energy industry to it. All oil, gas, coal, and nuclear energy has to go into this one single project. Word would get out.
It's called the Wall of Benin, and it's like one of the world's largest structures. But I've never known about it, and it was in Nigeria. It was the capital city, but they made interconnecting walls that stretched over 10,000 miles, and it was all man-made, and it was like the world's largest structure. But the British destroyed it in 1897.
Wow.
When they were colonizing it.
Lame.
But that's enough wall to circle the United States 3 times.
It says 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China.
How have I never heard of that?
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, we got to dig into
like
that.
Even the people of Nigeria now, they don't even know about it. So like people are trying to like discover more about it to teach them of their ancient culture and stuff.
It started in 800 AD and continued until 1460 AD.
Yeah, they said it took 150 million man hours to build.
But
10,000 miles.
very
long.
little remains today. How is that possible?
Because the British destroyed it.
All of it.
Imperialism.
That just seems like more effort to destroy 10,000 miles worth of wall.
For real though.
And just leave it.
It's the Guinness.
Walk around it.
It's the Guinness Book of World Records. World's largest man-made structure by length.
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Breaking news, and by breaking news, I mean this literally just happened last night. But in Vegas, where I live, right outside of Vegas, a 12-foot monolith showed up out of nowhere last night. Now, there's an area outside of Las Vegas, if you're familiar with Las Vegas, that's called Seven Magic Mountains, and it's this art installation. It's this gigantic structure of rocks that are different colors, and it's basically like a tourist attraction, a place where you can take photo ops and stuff like that. But last night, authorities have confirmed that a 12-foot monolith just showed up without permission, was given no permission and undetected. So there's no detection of it showing up. And they have said that it will be removed, but further investigation is going on right now before it's removed. But this literally just happened last night outside of Las Vegas. And it's not the first time that a monolith has just randomly shown up all over the entire world. But I wanted to share that with you guys now. It is on the news. You can Google it, you can research it. But yeah, a 12-foot monolith just showed up in Las Vegas.
Now, I had to look into it because I thought he was talking about those colorful rocks being the monolith, but it turns out that this right here is the monolith that he was talking about. It's within these colorful rocks. I just find it really hard to believe if this is an art exhibit where they actually place art and have what people consider to be valued objects. I'm surprised they don't have better surveillance or security out there. But I would really like to see one of those monoliths in person. I think that they look really cool on camera. And I really wonder, how heavy are they? Let me know in the comments. Have any of you actually seen these monoliths in person? I know a few years ago they were really going all over the place on the internet. I'm sure it's just an artist doing this, but it's still pretty interesting.
It's not what I asked you.
Is that you? Look, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. It's just me. See that? Come out. I'm not afraid of you. Come on out. You don't scare me. Come on out, pussy. Always trying to mess with me. Oh! Oh, shit. No. Hell no. Hell. Let me see. Where am I? I'm here. Where am I now? Look, there I am, right there. Look, you see that? You see that? Nah. Nah.
It's really too hard to tell what that was. It looked like something flew past him. I couldn't tell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments on this one.
The following footage is from a woman by the name of B. Green out of North Essex, UK. On March 19th, 2025, she may have just captured undeniable proof that UFOs use portals to enter in and out of our atmosphere. Now, the kicker is, she has been recording tons of UFO activity in the skies over her home. But this one is astonishing. It truly does look like a UFO entering a portal and disappearing. Take a look at this footage. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
Right, that's got a light above it. Can you see the light above it?
What's that?
I don't know. We're going to find out. Right, it's going up to the light. It's gone into the light. It's going out. What the fuck was that? I've just caught that on camera. Right, it's going up to the light. It's gone into the light. Going out.
Somehow people didn't know this about chewing gum, but you might want to watch this video. I'm sure every single one of you knows what gum is, has it, you might even have it in your mouth right now. I'm also sure you've all seen scenes like this under the school table when you were back in school, and a lot of the time the teachers absolutely hated it. You would not be allowed this because it's not good for you, right? Well, actually quite the contrary, because it could actually be extremely good for you in school. I'm sure every one of you knows what caffeine is. You know, it's in coffee, it's in Cokes, and many other things. One of the most commonly used you-know-whats, you've probably all had it most days. People like having it to wake them up in the morning or give them a bit of a mental boost throughout the day. Now back to the chewing gum though, because recent studies have shown that this is much better for you than caffeine. In a way of one's bad or the other, but reportedly chewing gum actually boosts your brain's capacity more than caffeine does. It's actually extremely beneficial for your mental performance, which I never thought I'd say. The crazy thing is, it boosts your mental capacity and shows that it is actually pretty good for you, but no one knows why. Now, if there's any scientists on here or doctors, please explain it to me, but from everything I've seen online, all the reports say no one actually knows why this happens, which is mad.
I will have to say, when I chew gum, I do feel more focused. And it's just standard sugar-free gum. It definitely does help me perform better when it comes to working on tasks or concentrating.
Your passwords are no longer safe after an entirely new state of matter was created by Microsoft. Yeah, the company that struggles with supporting a stable operating system just stabilized quantum particles themselves. And it might just mean the end of all of your private data online. We're talking a new state of matter, you know, like solid, liquid, gas. There's also the lesser known plasma for things like the sun, the northern lights, and lightning, but these four are pretty much all we've known. Well, the Windows guys just created a new one called a topological state. The name's kind of a work in progress, but what's special about this one is that it only exists at the quantum level. Quantum meaning very, 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 very small, where classical physics no longer applies. And this topological state is a game changer for quantum computing. For those who don't know, quantum computing is sort of like the next big technological breakthrough, just like AI has been in recent years. And it may literally destroy our entire digital world. But what exactly makes quantum computing different from the laptop, phone, or desktop PC that you use today? First of all, quantum computers look like this, cost millions of dollars, and need to be cooled to near absolute zero, which is -50 of 273 degrees Celsius to operate. But what's really impressive is how they compute data. So if you strip down today's computers to their most bare bones computational processes, we'll see that everything is built on bits, basic binary switches that can have one of two values, 1 or 0. These values are assigned through electrical signals that pass through a solid medium like a silicon transistor that represents the switch. Since there are only two options, we call them binary, on or off, voltage or no voltage, based on the electrons that pass through them, which then form longer strings of ones and zeros that become bytes, 8 bits, kilobytes, 1,000 bytes, megabytes, 1,000 kilobytes, and so on. These ones and zeros are binary code and represent data or computational procedures that virtually all technology is based on. This collection of ones and zeros could be a photo of your mom, and then this one could be me sending her a text. Now, quantum computers, instead of bits, use a new technology called qubits, quantum bits, that are non-binary, which doesn't mean they'll be using pronouns, but rather these qubits can now be 1 and 0 at the same time, called superposition, and are also fairly unstable. With traditional computing, running complex simulations with hundreds of variables can take a really long time, because each bit needs to be assigned a specific value, 1 or 0, and then that bit needs to be freed up before it can be used again for another operation. Quantum computing uses the unique properties of the atomic level by letting qubits be a 1 and 0 at the same time, meaning a qubit doesn't really need to be freed up before it can be used for something else. They can essentially be used for multiple operations all at once instead of waiting for their turn to be a 1 or 0 like in classical computing. In our classical universe, an object can't really be in two different states at the same time, so it's theorized that these qubits are actually communicating with parallel universes, where it exists as a 0 in one universe and a 1 in another, and it instantly pulls the information it needs from that qubit into our universe. In a sense, quantum computing creates time by borrowing the processing time of qubits in other universes and using their information in our own. By this theory, which is a real theory proposed by quantum computer scientists, these qubits are communicating directly with the multiverse. Yeah, I know, it's a mind. Even the people working on this technology themselves admit they don't really know how it works, but it does. Also, fun fact, I actually used to work at a quantum computing company, shout out D-Wave. So quantum computers are exponentially faster than conventional ones, as they're making use of time that doesn't even exist in our reality. And I don't think you realize how much faster that makes them. Google's quantum computer, Project Willow, took a complex problem that would have taken a traditional supercomputer 10 septillion years to solve. That's one with 25 zeros in years, which is longer than what the universe is expected to be around for. And Project Willow cracked it in 5 minutes. That problem was literally meant to outlast the entire timeline of the universe, and quantum computing just made it its bitch. These extremely hard to solve problems are actually what modern day security and encryption systems are based on, and this is where that tech apocalypse comes into play. We've been safe for now due to the highly unstable nature of qubits, which makes quantum computing not very reliable, scalable, nor practical yet, because Microsoft just created that new state of matter, which fixes that problem in their chip, the Majorana 1, which instead of relying on electrons running through classical bits, uses a new type of particle called the Majorana particle in its qubits, a zero-energy quasi-particle that can exist in this newly discovered topological state of matter called a topological superconductor. Yeah, I know, science. This particle is also its own antiparticle, which means it is extremely stable, exactly the problem that qubits were facing up until now. According to them, Majorana 1 can be scaled to have more computational power than all traditional computers and supercomputers in the world combined, and it's about that big. We would still need at least 1 million qubits to start solving world-changing problems like cancer, accurate weather prediction, financial modeling, and such, which quantum computing promises to do. The Majorana 1 currently has 8 qubits, but is designed to scale to 1 million. I mean, we started with 8-bit video games, and look what we have today. For the record, Google's Project Willow had 105 qubits, and well, look what that did. So we're on track to developing quantum computers and potentially collapsing our global digital security systems. Remember those super hard to solve problems that modern day security and encryption methods rely on to stay secure? Those hard to solve problems are called cryptography, which is simply the act of replacing certain symbols with other ones in order to keep the original symbols a secret, and is how your private data stays encrypted. Cryptography has gotten a lot more complicated in recent years and is by design. Today, our most advanced cryptography ciphers, which are the formulas used for replacing symbols, are intentionally designed to be super duper time consuming to crack. You can use computers to guess these ciphers over and over again until they find it out, but are specifically designed to take the most advanced supercomputer billions, trillions, whatever, septillions of years to figure out, which is why these systems are deemed secure. That's where quantum computers break everything. If Google's Project Willow is a sign of things to come, solving a problem meant to outlast the entire universe in 5 minutes, today's encryption methods are absolutely cooked. Your passwords, logins, banking info, cloud storage, Wi-Fi, even the group chat all rely on encryption to keep it private and secure. Computers that could crack that security in a heartbeat would end the entire digital world. The quantum apocalypse Y2Q. The NSA already warned us and told us it would happen sometime in the 2030s, but these recent breakthroughs just fast-forwarded our entire timeline. Then combine this with AI and I don't even want to think about what might happen. For the longest time, quantum computing's biggest hurdle was error correction since qubits were so unstable, like trying to thread a needle in the back of a bumpy car. This topological state of matter completely fixes that. We're now in a rush to make all of our sensitive digital systems quantum resistant, and we're kind of running out of time. It should be possible, but if quantum computers break our most popular encryption methods before then, all of your digital data is as good as gone. Not just banking and medical systems, but smart cars, homes, security systems, your iCloud could all be controlled by anyone at any time. Even cryptocurrencies would crumble as they're built on these encryption methods to keep them anonymous and secure from hackers, which is where crypto gets its name from, encryption. So either we hurry it up and quantum proof our entire digital world, or we get forced back into the stone age of security, with vaults, notebooks, and sheets of paper being the only thing keeping our private data safe.
His name is Tamarcus, and he claims to have the ability of telekinesis. And he's literally posting video after video of him proving that he can move objects with his mind. Now, the next 3 videos are of him displaying his talent. But you have to ask yourself, is this real? Is this some sort of hoax? And if it is a hoax, how is he doing it? Maybe it's an illusion, but maybe he really does have telekinesis. Take a look at this. Tell me what you think.
Chill. Marker. Watch. Marker.
Man, it is unbelievable on how much this guy's video is getting pushed around the internet. Now, I mean, I'm also part of that problem, I guess you could say, because I'm pushing it out in the internet as well. But it's obviously fake. I'm 100% sure he's using magician string. Everything just starts dangling and just staying at a certain level, and it's clearly fake to me anyways. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But to me, that's definitely fake. That might just be enough internet for today. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching these clips with me. And with that being said, have a good day.